Hello, English-speaking listeners of DropTheBeat podcast, whoever you may be. A quick message from our sponsor, Wibberwood. Wibberwood is a vegan hair care brand from Germany, and I've been using their products for some time now, 2-3 months, I think. I personally really like the pine scent. It's really refreshing, especially now in the summer. And I also really like the fact that the packaging is made with polywood. If you don't know what that is, because I didn't either until I started using their product, it's basically a type of plastic mixed with wood. So it's a great way to reduce your plastic usage and your carbon footprint. Wibberwood is currently doing a 2+1 or 25% off discount for all listeners. So please see the description below for more information. Thanks and enjoy the show.
My dad was an artist, and my mother is a teacher.
Teacher?
Yes. So because of that, my older brothers, they attended, the Waldorf school.
No.
Waldorf school is a style of education like that was born in Germany.
Uh-huh.
It's more focused in handcraft,
Okay.
in developing the personal character
Uh-huh.
more than maths or science, things like that. So because my brothers were attending that kind of school that was in the countryside, like there was no walls in the classrooms, no uniform. So it was a little bit hippie.
Uh-huh.
My dad was a hippie. And they got in touch. There was a lot of vegetarian people in that school.
Okay.
So my mom got really interested in like vegetarian lentil burgers or vegetarian lasagna or like roasted eggplant and things like that. So we started to eat a lot of those things at home, just because of out of curiosity of my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was already thinking, oh, this is nice. Like I never liked milk since I was born.
Okay.
Even like my mom's milk.
You remember that?
Well, she told me. She told me. I never liked milk. I kind of never liked eggs.
Okay.
And I never liked it like seafood and fish. So eating vegetarian was an easy thing for me.
Okay.
Because you don't eat chicken or meat every single day.
Uh-huh.
And as I say, we have a lot of beans and vegetables. So it was pretty much, it was kind of easy. So by then, I was around 8 years old when my mom started to cook those foods at home. And when I was around 30 years old, we used to go to the countryside a lot with my family. And there was a lot of animals out there, like chickens, cows, horses. And I was playing with the chicks, the small chicks.
Yeah.
And I was chasing after one, like playing. And by accidentally, I killed one.
What? How do you accidentally kill a chicken?
The chicken stopped, and I just stomped into it.
Okay, I shouldn't laugh, but
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
yeah, it's something that doesn't happen.
What?
that
And it
come
just
out.
died?
Yeah, I it was like the first time I realized how fragile life was.
Okay.
Holding the chick in my hands and it was just playing and then it was just lifeless in my hands. So that made a big
Shift.
explosion in my brain. So I couldn't see food the same way. So
Wow.
a couple of months after that, I remember it was really common for my family to have like chicken soup. And I was looking at it and I thought, it's the same life. And it's pretty much the same. It's muscles, it's veins, it's blood, it's bones, just like us.
Mm-hmm.
And they also want to be alive just like us. And I quit eating everything. So because I didn't like eggs and milk, it was really easy for me
Right.
by then the vegan word pretty much didn't exist.
Okay.
So if you said you were vegetarian, like you were like 100% vegetarian.
Okay.
You know, like ovo-lacto or something.
Uh-huh.
Those things
Didn't
exist.
Uh-huh.
So I was vegetarian, and I didn't have the need or eggs or dairy because I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I changed. It was a slowly change because my mom, she helped me a lot, but she was still cooking like regular foods for my family at home. So it was started changing a little bit for Chris.
Your
but
family, the rest
yeah.
of your family is okay with that?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
change?
yeah.
They're like,
no.
Fuck
I
Chris.
told you they're pretty much hippies. They're like,
Okay.
you want to be vegetarian, be vegetarian.
that's good. That's nice. That's a nice thing about having hippies as for your families.
Well, you can say that.
But okay, so normally, so a lot of people who go vegan,
Yeah.
they have an experience with, either watching a video about
Yeah.
animals or like living with animals or
Well-
companion animals. But with you killed an animal.
Yeah.
You went to the extreme.
I think that's strangely and luckily something that is happening a lot with like butchers nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, like if you look for the news or something, there's a lot of like dairy farms or butchering shops that they can't stand all the pain they have to, cause and endure every single day. That they are changing like previous like former butchers are now doing like vegan sausages, or vegan farmings are now like doing like vegan soy milk or almond milk, things like that, because of the same thing.
Yeah.
The problem is how you normalize those things. So when you grow up thinking that killing the animal for putting in a plate and cooking with it is normal, all these people that work doing that, they will never think there is something wrong about it.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, people are getting more information these days, and I think it's easier for people to understand and to make a change, a life change, because of the information that I saw there. To be honest, I have never seen any kind of documentary. Like I know
Not
there
one.
is, I know there is Earthlings, conspiracy, all those things. I've never watched any of those because I never needed.
Right.
When I realized that when I was a child,
Yeah.
it was like a truth that could never change for me.
Yeah.
So I never hesitated. I never went back. Yeah, it was just like the more natural course
Yeah.
of events for me.
It just made sense to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think what happened with you is an exception. I want to say.
I think it's not normal that you
Yeah.
kill something and
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying you just went vegan without any external, well, except for killing the chicken. It just made sense to you in your head. You made the connection and you did it. But with a lot of people, if it's something they're used to, their family eats meat, it's everybody else around them eats meat.
Well,
it's
I
normal.
can tell you something more strange,
What?
and that makes sense. Seeing that I became a professional chef, I think I wasn't a normal kid, because in my birthday, instead of asking for like a birthday cake,
Yeah.
I was always asking my mom to do like cow's tongue stew.
What? Why?
I always
liked it.
like different and special kind of flavors and textures.
You're a natural chef.
I realized that as an adult. Of course, as a kid, I never thought about it.
Okay.
But now that you have opportunity to look back,
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about that, and I wasn't a normal kid.
Right. You were meant to be a chef. What? That's what it means.
I have to, detour so many times in life to get to decide that was the thing I always wanted to do, the thing I always wanted to become, a chef. And before that, I also attended the graphic design school. I attended the music school, but it wasn't my call. So I decided to attend the culinary school too, and I felt this is it.
This is it.
This is it.
So you tried a few different things.
I graduated for two different things.
Graphic artist,
Graphic design.
graphic design,
And the conservatory, like the classical
Musician.
music school.
Classical
that's-
music.
Yeah, that's why I also have my piano tattoo.
little memento.
Uh,
Okay. And then you went to culinary school and you've just, this is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So not much of a detour. Just 3 things, and then it happened to be one of them, right?
Yeah, but well, the thing is, like, if you think about it, being a chef now is more profitable. Like people now think more of the chefs are truly professionals,
Mhm.
right? 5-10 years ago, a chef, no matter how you were, was always just someone that was inside the kitchen, and was just serving food. But people now realize that as any kind of other professional, like an engineer, I don't know, an artist, any other profession, people have more visibility and more recognition of what they do. I think people now are recognizing that too in cooks. Like, this person was trained to do delicious dishes, so I want to enjoy that. I want to go to be part of that too. I think that kind of food culture has been changing in the past 10 years. So because of that, as I say, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, still in South America, it was pretty much impossible to make a life
Really?
as a chef.
That's interesting.
The wage is low.
Uh-huh.
Working hours
Long.
or working hours for a chef are hard.
Yeah.
But considering you were not earning a lot of money, it was not a good, time investment. So that's what I meant about the tour. You have to do other things and just not only like cooking to survive. So I was always trying to have a job in the kitchen, but I was working in a company as a graphic designer.
Wow.
Or composing songs or doing freelance jobs because of that.
To make ends meet.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Okay. So before, what you just said is, just to summarize, before people didn't really acknowledge chef as a proper profession.
Yes.
It was just more like a physical laborer in the back, in the kitchen,
Yeah.
just slaving away. But now people acknowledge that this is proper profession that requires training. It's a form of art, and people appreciate your work, and now you're happy to be a part of it.
I'm really happy. I remember when I was sitting in front of a computer, like doing designs, I was always asking myself, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Uh-huh.
But as a chef, I've never hesitated about it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm.
Wow, that's great.
Some people. It's hard for a lot of people that they have to wake up early in the morning to go to the office,
Right.
and you're tired and you complain and the traffic. I've never felt like that
Uh-huh.
when I have to come
To the restaurant early in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes you have to come earlier, sometimes you close really late, and that isn't a problem at all.
You're a very fortunate man.
You think so?
Yeah, not a lot of people
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people go through their lives without finding that thing,
Well, it was not easy to find, but yeah, I think in those terms, yeah, I can
Yeah.
consider myself really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this restaurant.
Okay.
Okay, I'm curious. I think we'll just keep it English. Like, why not?
Okay.
Do you want to switch to Korean? I don't care.
I
You wanna try?
I can,
Okay.
but I think it would be easier to express myself in
Let's
English.
do English.
today.
Let's do English.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm curious about your thought process because opening a vegan restaurant in a foreign country and Korea at that, which is like the most. It's just like it's a shot in the dark. You know, it's like there's nobody knows what vegan is here, especially when you open the restaurant. It's a little.
Well, it's been just 1 year,
Okay, that's
but
true.
when I came, I told you that was pretty much
Yeah.
my goal after realizing
Right.
there were not too many options,
Yeah.
like vegan options in Korea.
Right.
Nobody knew about it.
Okay, fine.
About veganism.
It was just 1 year ago. True.
Yeah.
But still, even now, it's not an easy market to penetrate. You know,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of vegans in Korea. I think it's picking up. The movement is picking up, but still, it's very small. It's very niche market.
Yeah.
But also, you're a foreigner. It's like what? Like, but you must be like either
Crazy.
crazy or like brave or like what's going on?
Some people say brave is crazy, crazy is brave.
The same word.
What could I say? I am a person that love challenges, right? And I saw that opportunity as a challenge in Korea. I knew it wasn't gonna be easy, so I could do it pretty much from the very beginning when I came to Korea, right? But as you say, the market was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
And even though I did a couple of pop-ups in a friend's restaurant in Sangakji, and people loved it,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people were telling me by then it was like it was pretty much like 3 years ago, 3 years and a half maybe, that I should open a restaurant, but. Because I already had a vegetarian restaurant when I was younger, and I also managed and work in other restaurants, I felt it was not the right timing for opening a vegan restaurant by then. So I was just preparing everything. I was thinking about how people in here approach to vegan food, approach to vegan restaurants, how they are getting the information about veganism, and I think. I was just waiting for Korea to be more open to veganism the way it's getting now to open the restaurant. So 1 year ago, I said, this is it. This is the moment.
This is the time.
Yeah, I have to do it right now.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, but I found this place. It used to be a hanbok jeep.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Hey, you can do the sign is still out there. I have to change it. So I saw it. It was like available. Actually, I was traveling. I was in Cambodia by then.
Okay.
But my business partner, he found the place and he sent me some pictures and he said like, "Did you like it?" And I was like, "It's perfect. Let's do it."
Uh-huh.
So I came back and just the two of us did all the remodelation by ourselves. And it took us 3 weeks to change everything and to
Just
prepare.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because of that, I didn't have time to prepare the menu. So just the night before I was planning to open, I was like, what I should do. There's a lot of things I would like to do. But, so because the pizza restaurant I managed in Colombia when like 10 years ago, it was a really nice pizza. The menu was really interesting. It was
Okay.
not like regular chain brands like Domino's or Pizza Hut. It was like kind of gourmet, artistical pizzeria.
Okay. What's an artistic pizza?
Well, they have like live bands or live theater. They always were like doing art exhibitions inside the restaurant.
Okay.
And the menu was a little bit different for regular like Hawaiian pizza or pepperoni pizza. So I was thinking there's a good opportunity to do something like that in Korea because actually pizzas in Korea are really similar to pizzas in Colombia.
Are they?
Yeah, but in here people love a lot of toppings. Yeah.
So a lot of my foreigner friends who visit Korea, they say your pizza is crazy.
It's crazy.
You put everything on it, like
but
potato.
in Colombia, that's pretty much the same thing.
So it's not a Korean.
But I live in Argentina, right?
Uh-huh.
Argentinian people, they here like got pretty much all their food from Italian people after the Second World War. So pretty much all Argentinian food is Italian food.
Okay.
So pizza in there is delicious. It's amazing, but it's super simple. It's just like cheese and
Tomato sauce.
yeah, maybe the craziest topping you'll see is like ham, and that's all.
That's not crazy.
But that's what I mean.
Uh-huh.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's really plain because they really like to focus on dough, sauce, and good cheese. That's all what you need. So, well, of course, when I came to Korea and I started seeing all the different crazy things like French fries on a pizza.
The best.
It's good. It's good. I like that. It was like, well, I guess because there's a lot of that already, I should do something like that, more traditional style of pizza, right? So that was pretty much the menu that was prepared for Nammi when I opened
Uh-huh.
as the pizza.
So the pizza you learned, or you're familiar with while working in, what was the place?
In Argentina.
Yeah.
Well, I also attended the culinary school when I lived in Argentina.
Yeah.
And I got I was lucky to receive a lot of classes from Italian people that was teaching in there.
Okay.
So the dough I'm making here is actually a mix of two kind of different traditional dough of Italy.
Oh.
So I changed the recipe like in my personal style, but it's actually a mix of those two traditional Italian
Oh, wow.
recipes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was really interesting because in South America where food, if you compare like close to Korea, you could say it's more like Arab food or a little bit like Indian food. You know, we use a lot of spices. We have a lot of beans and vegetables. But Argentina, even when it's in South America, feels really European.
Right.
Yeah, so you'll find a lot of Italian style, French style,
Okay.
German style, and that was a big influence for me. So growing up in a tropical country, but studying and doing all my career in a more European style country, and then came to Asia.
And working in a Hongo place for 3 years. Can't ignore that influence.
I'm not sure if that add anything to my career.
You never know. Wow.
Oh, you know what? I actually learned a lot in there. The Korean food culture. You know how people like to eat, how people like to mix food with drinks, how people like to be served. Because when you run these kind of places, people think you're a chef and you just have to go in the kitchen and cook foods and serve it. That's all. No, actually, food is the last thing.
Okay.
The most important thing is service. How you treat your customers, how you serve them, and Korea has a particular style to do that too. There's a lot of personal interaction with customers here in Korea, but I also have or felt, maybe because I'm a foreigner who was working in a Hongo jeep, that even though there is some distance, so just in my personal style, I like to make that bridge smaller so the service becomes a little bit more personal. I'll try to remember my customers, what they like, what don't they like, how many times they came. I'm not gonna dig into their personal lives, but I want all my customers to feel that Nammi is a place they can come and feel like home.
Home?
They can be relaxed. Nobody's pressing them to leave, to eat, to order. If you visit Nami, I want them to do it not only because of the food, but how they feel when they are here. And then the food is the second most important thing. Yeah.
I think you feel that when you come here, because you are very. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I've always felt very welcomed, because you. Yeah, I always felt very welcome. You say 안녕하세요, like super friendly, and you always come over to the table and ask like if there's anything we want, and yeah, I think everything you've said, you've put into practice.
Well,
So-
I'm glad to hear that,
Yeah.
and that's one of my goals
Oh.
to, as I say, to make people, feeling here, because again, cooking is not just about the food. It's just when you eat, you come by yourself, or you bring friends or family or a loved one, right? And eating becomes also an experience, because becomes also a memory you'll have, and that's something. It is called like the X factor, like the soul factor. You have to serve that with the food, not only just good food.
Right.
And that's what I try.
Yeah.
That's what I have, an open kitchen. So I can keep an eye if everything is okay, if something is happening, if there's something I can help, I can do, like for the customers, with the customers, towards the customers.
Because I feel like no matter how good the food is, by the way, your food is good. I really like your food.
Thank you.
But I feel like no matter how good the food is, if the restaurant somehow makes you feel like shit, like they're really cold, they're really, they say hi in a really like unfriendly and like aloof way, then you don't feel comfortable. You don't feel at home. And even though you're being served this delicious food, like it's not a very pleasant experience,
Well, compared with other goods or services, like a lot of different kind of industries can provide or sell to people, food is something really personal. It's something human. Like compared with everyone these days needs a cell phone, because communication is really important. But we even know like animals communicate, right? Or we have different methods of communication. But food, like the cooking, is the only thing that
Primal.
yeah that actually make we as humans can share. And there have to be that human feeling when you're eating, even if it's at home and you're doing what you like to do, just in one pot meal, or you are cooking with friends, or you go to a restaurant. I believe you also have to receive that human feeling when you're served, when you're welcome, when you're eating. I could just put a robot to mix all the pizzas and sauces, but I think that's what we are not looking for as human beings. We need connection. We need, as I say, emotions, experiences, and food brings you that, even for memories, for new things, or a lot of different reasons. Like I think the food, how we have it, or how we share it, makes us more human.
Okay. So for you, food is just food is a medium through which you convey emotion, feelings, relationships, and that very primal aspect of being a human being.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Wow, we have come far from this question I wanted to ask you. First of all, let's talk about the name. I mean, there probably isn't too much to talk about. It's just Nammi.
Okay.
Meaning, I'm guessing. Tell me if I'm wrong. Nammi as in you're from Nammi.
Okay.
Plant
yeah.
as in plant face. Is that it?
That's it. That was like the first thing I thought.
Okay.
You know, it was really simple. Okay, I'm from South America. I never thought to serve just South American or Latin American food. It's just like Nammi is going to be a place when I can welcome people to my personal world as a chef. So because as I said, I'm Colombian, but I live in Argentina. I travel. I did different jobs in different countries. So my personal experience, like culinary experience, is full of different things I learned until this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I never wanted to serve just like South American food because my culinary experience is not just South American food. And I'm pretty sure people really don't know anything about South American food, and it will be a little bit hard to introduce it in here. The same way I'm pretty sure introducing Korean food will be really hard in Colombia. They don't like spicy food though.
Yeah. I mean, all I know is tacos and burritos.
That's Mexican. That's not even South American.
Okay, fair.
That's what I say.
Yeah, that's how ignorant I am.
No, it's because there is no reason for you to know it, right?
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
Really traditional. So that was it. Like Nammi was an open door to share my personal experience with everyone in this place. But I as a graphic designer, I love branding, and I always wanted to. I like it like war games, right?
Okay.
If you write Nammi in Hanja, you can change just the order, and it's gonna be Minam.
Okay.
And it was a funny thing about it. And actually, if you read it, just
Okay. Yeah.
in English, it also says I'm man.
I'm man.
But it was just a big coincidence. And they were like, oh, this is funny. Okay, let's keep it Nammi.
Okay. Wow. I did not expect that. Okay. That's
Before I opened Nammi, I was also working in. I was preparing a beverage, like soft drinks company in Jeju.
you were.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because of the same reason, the name of the brand was gonna be like Ki.
Huh?
Ki.
Key?
You know, like Ki.
Yeah.
Just Ki. Because in Hanja, it's energy. And,
Yeah.
and it was sort of natural energy drinks I was preparing, right? You can write it out in English and people will know because everyone, I think abroad, watched Dragon Ball or wherever abroad, they know what Ki is. Ki or Shi, you know? But also if you go to Jeju, in Satori, like Ki, it's like Chincha.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And we were claiming that our energy drink was a real natural energy drink. So Ki was
Chincha.
Chincha energy drink.
That's funny.
So I like that.
Okay.
I just like that kind of style.
Okay. So it has like double, triple meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So not as simple as I thought it was. Good. Because I was like, is this really it? Like, it's too simple. Okay. And plant is just. Is there anything behind plant that I should know about?
The plant lab is just because I really like to play with ingredients. I actually apply a lot of science, like plant-based science, to my dishes, like the cheese, the cream, how I prepare the pasta. You know, have a lot of techniques that has to be how you understand some physics and physical and chemical. You know,
I bet. Yeah.
yeah. how you mix it to make it more fluffy, to
Mhm.
make it more creamy, things like that. Uh, and I create a lot. There is a new menu, the bacon, either pasta or pizza, and just dehydrated tofu skin,
What's that?
like dehydrated, malin dubupi.
Ah.
Oh, but the way I make it dry, the way I cook it back again, it's
That's the
vegan
magic.
food. It's are simple ingredients, but how I make it, it's true that science of cooking, of food science.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I chose
The lab.
yeah.
Okay. It's this place of experimentation,
Yeah.
alchemy, and magic. Wow. Very, very profound. Much more profound than I expected. Okay.
I think nothing is random in life.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's true. So I'm curious. So you opened this restaurant.
Yes.
I mean, before that, you said you did pop up at your friend's place.
Yeah,
and,
in
you had a good
Sangagi.
reception. People
Yeah.
liked your food. So, were you confident about this place? How this place is gonna do?
Well, I think you're always scared, even if
Scared?
if the business is doing good,
Yeah.
you're always a little bit scared, like every single day.
Because the future is
know.
unknown.
Yeah, because I don't know. You're also a human too. You can make mistakes, or people just can change their habits, or
You don't know what's gonna happen.
the economy, whatever can affect
Yeah.
this kind of business also every single day. So I think you have to be scared, a little bit scared every single day to keep it up. You
Uh-huh.
know, if I feel comfortable, I think I'll have to close.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because as I said, this has to be a challenge, and the
That's true.
challenge is not only to serve good food, to do a good service, to make people happy and satisfied, but also people want to try new things. Veganism is starting in Korea, so there's a lot of opportunities to create things, but also, well, again, I'm a foreigner. This is still an alien culture for me. So even when I try to understand it, I might, create menus that are not gonna work in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the challenge.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by then, I told you I felt when I was doing the pop-ups that wasn't the moment to open a restaurant, a whole full restaurant. But when I feel it, I started knowing I could do it. Not confident, because you never know,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But I knew I could do it. It's been a big learning process for myself too. What people like, what people don't like, what I can get, like what ingredients I can easily get in Korea or not, trends. So every single day I woke up being a little bit scared, and every single night I go to bed asking myself if I did everything the right way, to make people feel comfortable in here.
But from what you've said, that's how you know you're doing it right? Because if you're just comfortable, if you're just confident about everything, then it means that maybe I'm not doing it right.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I believe, like, movement is the only thing to keep things alive, right? Like, you have in constant evolve and growing. I'm constantly thinking people are liking this, but maybe if I add this more, they will like it more, or maybe if I change this to that, it's gonna be better, or what they're looking for. Um, so yeah, I think there is a. I was scrolling on Instagram, and there is this famous Korean American chef in the States called David Chang.
Momofuku, yeah.
And he interacts a lot with people on Instagram, and someone asked pretty much this same question to him, and he was saying there is an old Greek myth about Sisyphus, that it was an old king that was a bad king. So when he died, he went to hell, and he was forced to lift a big rock up to the mountain,
Back up and back and up and yeah.
If you don't feel like that in a restaurant every single day, I think he did a really good analogy on that.
You agree with that?
Yeah, because you close the restaurant and a new day starts, but a new day is maybe new customers, different people, all customers that are looking something new. You have always to push yourself a little bit more to make worth visiting a place.
Sounds like a very difficult job.
Well, that's the thing. When you really
like it,
like
you
what
like
you,
it.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a job for you.
Yeah, it's just
It's like when I'm here, I feel pretty much the same that when I am my home. I don't feel obligated to do anything, pressed to do anything. I just want the same way I would love to share a meal, like home meal at home with my friends. I would like to do the same here with my customers.
okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. So, but how has it been? Like, have you been getting feedback from your customers?
Yeah, a lot.
What's it been so far? People like it.
I've been get recommendations, ideas, of course critics, and I try to pay attention, not like for what people are saying, but for what I can do to make it better for the people. It's hard to explain, but more than like looking on social media or something like what people upload or their comments, I try to pay attention every time someone is eating something. What are their reactions, how they're eating, what they're like asking for, what are they looking for. So I try to make all that process of enjoying, of asking or making an order, placing an order easier and easier. So more than actual that I've received and I've made change because of those recommendations or comments or critics. I try to read my customers, and in this industry, if you have to be one step ahead of your customer, if I'm knowing that there are no more napkins, I have to replace them before they ask for them to make it easier, more comfortable. That's what I aim for. So all those comments and ideas that I have heard from my customers have helped a lot for that too.
So have you ever tried a menu that was recommended by a customer?
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, not entirely,
Oh.
but when I was serving the ceviche salad, the crepe ceviche salad. I have a regular customer that he's a monk,
Okay.
and he told me, you know that normally they also put some sweet fruits on ceviche, and I was, oh yeah, yeah, that's true. Like that's really common in Peru. Like it'll be awesome to put like figs or something in here, but those are difficult to get in Korea. So because of that, I was thinking, well, I'm already using oranges and tangerines in my kitchen, so I could put those on the salad, and it would be a good match for the salad too, and a different texture.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I also try to listen to my customers. When I first opened, there was this family that it was curious. Like the vegans of the family were the grandparents. You know, like it was a Korean family, but the grandparents were the ones who were vegan.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
I was surprised by
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And they came and well, they looked. My menu was pizza and pasta. It was more like Western food. They were like, "Why don't you make something more like Korean, like a cutlet, you know, and like a vegan tonkatsu or something?" Like, well, now I'm serving. I used to serve ramen, like
I know. I never got to try it. I'm so
it's coming
upset.
back. It's coming back. It's
Okay.
coming back.
Okay.
But I was just serving like with roasted vegetables and some fresh vegetables. I was like, well, ramen is normally also served with cutlet in Japan too, and they wanted me to do something more like that. So well, I can put the cutlet in the ramen. So I changed it and I started serving the cutlet on the top of the ramen too, and people love it. So I appreciate all the all what customers can say, Of course, it's like an open radio. Sometimes you hear a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
Yeah.
Not easy to listen to all of them. It's not easy to please everyone, of course. And it's a little bit exhausting to try to think about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you how do you make that judgment call? Like, I'm sure you get a lot of feedback, a lot of suggestions from people around you, including customers. But sometimes you have to pick.
Yeah.
You can't listen to everybody's opinion, right? And sometimes you have to just stick with what you think is the right thing to do. But at the same time, you have to listen to other people and their feedback. But how do you draw that line?
Well, when I'm always planning a new menu or something,
Yeah.
before thinking about it as a chef, I always try to think it as a customer. I'm a vegan too, and I visit tons of vegan restaurants all over the world. So I know, because I also experienced some frustrations while visiting vegan places, disappointments, or really excitement about amazing foods. So first of all, I always try to think as a customer. So when I listen to these opinions, I think how it's gonna work for everyone. And if that makes sense, then I see how it's gonna be from the perspective of a professional, like a well-made dish, how it's gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
So if both of those things match, okay, I make the change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like, that sounds like a good idea, I'll do it. But you also have to think from your perspective as a chef, and then if it makes sense,
With the perspective of the customers,
then you go ahead and make the change.
Yeah,
Okay.
Of course,
That's fair.
I'm open to suggestions all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. How many? This is just like a random question I just thought of. Do you think that most people that come to Nammi Plant Lab are vegans, or do you know?
I could say because a lot of customers say it, because I'm vegan and they want to make sure everything is vegan, and when they are not vegan, they say, "Oh, we're not vegan, but we're trying to we are giving these foods a chance, or we are changing our like lifestyles because of health or allergies or because they I have customers that also have live abroad, like Korean locals, but they live abroad and they try vegan food abroad, and they like it. So they came back recently to Korea, and they also looking for that, even when they are not vegan at all. So I could say, and I think that's really important. I kind of like that too. The I could say around 60 or 70% of my customers are vegan, and 40 or 30% they are not vegan.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I was surprised too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the kind of change you want to see too, right?
Actually, it is. Because when I completely became vegan when I was really young, I was super activist for veganism, doing campaigns, joining. We have bullfightings in my hometown, so we always, standing in front of the bullfighting arena, protesting against all the butcher shops, things like that.
Uh-huh.
But for myself, in my personal experience, I felt that was not resonating on people's minds, because they could see there is something bad, but they go to, again, I'm talking about Biden and I'm talking about my personal experience. They were trying to look for vegetarian or vegan foods, and they only found themselves eating salads or bland things. So again, food makes us humans, and food is something we need every single day. And if you want to make a big change, you have to provide something that also warms you as a human, that contains you as a human. And I think food is a really good way to make people change their lifestyle. So I'm actually really happy that I have a lot of non-vegan customers, because vegans, we already know what we want, what we like, what's that for. But when you serve non-vegan people, there is more opportunity to make a change and to spread all this lifestyle and these ethics towards animals. Because again, vegans, we already know that.
Yeah, we already know what we're doing.
Yeah. So I'm glad that's happening here at Nammi. So I have the opportunity. And that is something I chose myself a couple of years ago. I'm not going to do more activism. I'm not going to do... I don't even talk about veganism. I'm just going to serve you vegan food. And if you like it, I'm going to tell you how can you do it more regularly. So you slowly will change even without noticing. And at the end, that's the most important thing. Because it's consuming less like animal ingredients, is saving more animal lives. And for me, that was pretty much the way I live my vegan lifestyle.
And I feel like restaurants like this, we need more restaurants like this, because we need like good vegan food. Because I would love to take my friends to a vegan restaurant, but I can't afford to disappoint them, you know?
Something that happens, yeah.
I can't afford, I only have one shot at this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, if they don't like it the first time, they're not going to try it again. So I can't afford for this food to be shitty, right? I need it to be delicious. And I think with this place, you're doing a great job. It's delicious.
Thank you so much.
I would take my friends here without any hesitation. So, yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
All right, Chris, I got 2 more questions for you.
Okay, shoot it. I'm not gonna say how old am I.
I already know. 25.
Oh, thank you. 25 in each leg, maybe.
So you've been running this place for a year now.
Well, next month is gonna be Nami's first year
Anniversary.
Yeah.
Next month.
Next month.
Okay.
So I'm planning a lot of
Parties?
things and special things
Oh, I'm excited.
to do here for the customers,
Uh-huh.
to change, to...
Okay.
So it's going to be my way to thank everyone for all the support until this point. So we are turning 1 year old next
That's
month.
great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so well, now that you have 1 year worth of experience
Yes.
with running a vegan restaurant in Korea as a foreigner too, you have this experience under your belt. What kind of advice would you give to other people who have similar projects, ideas?
That's a really good question. First of all, I could say trust your God. You know, because again, at least for myself, I do this. The dishes I create, the recipes I create, the chains I do is always part of my personal experience, like life experience, and also my culinary background. So that's what I can offer. So if I start doing things that I don't feel comfortable with, or I haven't mastered yet, or you know, I try a lot of things in the kitchen that never get into the menu.
Uh-huh.
You know, because at the end I was not comfortable with that because I was just playing around. But when I see there is something that comes from my own perspective, and that's what is something I can offer to people here. I know it's gonna perform better, and I think customers feel that too. So, like, trust your gut on that. I'm a person that I work in marketing for so many years, and relying on trends are never good because trends change. Right?
Yeah.
But if you, I also could call myself a little bit more classic in like way of my, in terms of my culinary background, right? Because I was trained in the French cuisine mostly. Do what you feel comfortable.
Be authentic.
Yeah.
true.
Be like,
Yeah.
express yourself with
Yeah.
with your ideas, your menu, your interior.
No.
uh, for certain things to happen are gonna be more exhausting, more difficult, more stressful. Also, I think, as you said, veganism is just starting here in Korea, and it's not easy because the market is still too small. But I always believe the opposite because there is no market. You can create a lot of different things, and you can help the market to grow. And when the market gets bigger, people are gonna be there for you too, the same way you were there at the beginning for them when it started. Patience is, and listen to the customers too.
Those are the customers.
Yeah. It's really common in this industry, even if you are professional trained or you were just trained by experience. There's a lot of ego
Ego.
in the kitchens, and I think that's something that ruin.
You gotta put that down.
Yeah, the opportunity for growing not only for you as a cook or as an owner, you know, but also for customers. You have to be able to apologize, you know, be able to recognize that something is not working, something is working. Care a lot of about details, you know. You know, sometimes we are busy weekends. I have a part-timer that she's just learning Korean. She's just learning the style of Nammi, or even us. We are super busy and we forgot our the orders, or some small things change, and we don't serve it the way it is. I have no problem at all to approach the table and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna change it. This is gonna be on the house." Or, of course, the business has to focus on the profit because it's a business. But again, food is something really human, and I prefer to make a customer happy, but not receiving the cost of one or two menus. That
It's not worth it.
to let them leave feeling bad about having a bad meal or bad service. So it's also personal struggle every single day when you're a cook. You know, to avoid to feel you are too good for not making mistakes.
Yeah.
Because as I said again, it's pretty much the same way I feel that if I was considering everything is working perfectly and Nammi, that's the time I have to close. If I feel that I do everything perfect as a chef, that's the time I have to quit and hang out my whites. Because I'm not perfect and nothing is gonna be ever perfect. So I just want to keep working every single day to make it just good enough. And it's good enough for the customers. So I will invite, or it's not an advice, I can't give advice, but I will invite restaurateurs, owners or cooks to approach and more to their customers, to remember we are all people. This is food made by people for people, and that's really important.
Those are. There's a lot of wisdom in what you just said. Okay, last question would be, what's the plan? So you're just gonna live in Korea for the rest of your life, and with Nammi, or what's gonna?
Well, I leave my country 10 years ago. I live in Argentina for a little bit more, 5 years. And there was a moment I was feeling, okay, I'm gonna stay in Argentina. But then I moved to Korea. As an expat, there's a lot of things I like in here. I like how everything is changing, not only in the food industry, but also I think there's a cultural changing happening here in Korea for a lot of different matters too. And being part of that, even in a small portion, it's a really interesting and good opportunity, like in a lifetime, right? Nammi, I feel Nammi like my child,
It's your baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's growing. I'm learning a lot from it. I have to teach, like, towards Nammi a lot to make it the person I want it, or I know it could be. So there's still a lot of work to do for Nammi. I also have a couple of plans for opening.
New ones.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, we are working on that. I think people are gonna like it. It's gonna be a good playground. I love to think my food businesses as playgrounds.
Okay.
People have to get fun. So we're working in that.
What kind of food?
Uh,
A secret?
I'm gonna announce it soon. Soon on
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
It's gonna be not like a second branch of Nammi, but it's gonna be part of the philosophy I have for Nammi. So this is a plant lab, so the other plane is not gonna be a lab, but it's gonna be more like a playground.
Okay.
but there are a lot of opportunities, and the same way I'm grateful and lucky enough to be part of to get a chance to grab my part of the share market. That's my way to repay again all the support I have got until this point and to offer more. So at least the next 5 years that I set those goals, I'm gonna be around making noise.
Okay. So you'll be here
Yeah.
for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
But you never know. But we'll
That's,
see.
that's what I can say. Okay, I'm gonna live here. I'm gonna settle down, or I don't know. I already I thought that once. Thinking it with my hometown too, and it wasn't that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that I'm not sure of anything.
Okay. Is there a specific goal do you have with Nammi? Like, you want to see this go somewhere, like maybe, I don't know, maybe on Netflix Chef's Table or something?
That's gonna be really hard. With vegan food, this is already happening. It's also just happening in the States, but I think all over the world, normal food, like regular food, went to be like something you needed to survive, to be something you cook at home, to be something that you can get in small diners, to be something that is cooked by professionals in restaurants, and to be something that is completely gourmet in high, top quality restaurants. But vegan food is just starting again, from something you cook, from something you get in small dinings, and then restaurants. But we have to catch up with normal people, right? We have to catch up with normal restaurants too. And that's pretty much the goal for this place. People now are getting the opportunity to try like vegan cheese, vegan pizzas, vegan hamburgers, vegan pasta. But what about vegan fine dining, vegan a true experience that is not only something that you'll never thought about it in your plate, in your dish, in front of you, but also an experience that is really special, that you won't feel you are different just because you are vegan, that you can get all the opportunities, all the same experiences, of the same feelings that everyone can get, but going to a normal restaurant or just around the corner or just booking a reservation, because people can do that, but vegans can't.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for. Give that opportunity to people.
That would be amazing. That's an awesome goal to have. All right. Thank you for making time.
My pleasure.
This place is getting crowded.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying to ignore that I'm supposed to be helping. Well, luckily I have a good team now, and I trust them. So they may be really hot in there and sweating, but I know they're gonna do everything really good.
Okay, Chris, thanks for doing the show. We end the podcast by saying, I say trapto, you say beat,
A bit.
and then we're done.
Okay.
All right. Chris, thanks for coming on the show. Drop the
Beat!